Hello everyone, I'm Zishan Shah and welcome to Z Interactive YouTube channel, your own training institute. So today we will go through our last lesson of chapter 1, which is the introduction to Substance Designer, and our last lesson is lesson number 7, which is about library. So for this video, we'll go over the library panel, and the library panel you can find is over here. Basically, it's like a resource manager for all your different nodes that you have inside Designer. So each node or nodes live in this category list depends on what they do actually. Like suppose you have like functions nodes over here, which is about like mathematical functions, and after that you have the generators, filters, then you have like filters, like you have generators, then you have filters here. Inside the filters you can see you have adjustment, you have blending, blur, channel map, and then apart from that you have then material filters, mesh additive, 3D functions, 3D view, and so many other things you have here. So however, I will not go to each one of them. I will go over the ones that are tend to use most of the time inside the Substance Designer. So let's start from the top, and from the top here you can see that we have a favorites panel. So by default, when you first launch the Substance Designer, favorite will be empty because we don't have anything favorite yet. We didn't made any node of our favorite node yet. So there is nothing in this window, because to add something to your favorite panel you have to actually click on a node and assign it as a favorite. So this is really helpful when you tend to find something using the like the node on and on again, over and over again. So instead of keep on going inside these, it's better to go to the favorites, and you will find it there. So something that you use most of the time, you can like favorite it, you can change it to favorite. So if we actually go into one of the categories here, for example, if I will go to the generator and if I will go to the pattern here, maybe I like to work with the star most of the time. So what I can do is that I can just right click over here and add to favorites. So once I do that, it will be in my favorites. If I will go, you can see it's in the favorites. Now if you wanted to get rid of it, you can right click it again and just remove it from your favorite, and now it's gone from your favorite panel. Now next we'll move to the graph items. Now in the graph items we have all those items that we have like studied before. We have the comment. If you can add the comment anywhere you want, then you have a pin. You can make a bookmark with the pins, and with the F2 key you can move to the different pins on and on again. Frames, you can just click it here. You can resize the frame. You can add these values here, whatever you want here. Okay, and then once your frame is resized, so let's go here and move it back here, and okay, now you can see this frame. But it was quite a little like tricky to do that because I have to move it a lot. Let's remove this frame. Let's delete this frame. But as you know, last time we created the frame by selecting, right clicking, and then add frame. Now here what we did this was that we have to bring the frame, and then we have to make it bigger, and then adjust things inside it. But what if we want to do the same thing, like creating a frame just like this? Okay, so this can be also done. What you need to only do is that select whatever you want, then select your frame, drop over here, and it will be dropped over those which were selected. So this is also you can do with the frame actually here. Now from here we have the atomic nodes, and these atomic nodes is the same thing that we have talked about right from the beginning of the tutorial. It's a certain way to get all those nodes that you get from the right click, or from top over here, or the space bar. So all those. Next, what we have is the effects map nodes. So if you're into creating your own effects maps nodes, you can use this effects map nodes from here, and you can look into the function nodes for your own effects, basically. So inside here you have all different kind of variables and other thing. It's basically a more like having mathematical functions. So it can help you to create different kind of singular nodes that can help you inside the Substance Designer. But uh, here we will just skip over and go to the generator panels because this is more mathematical. Now, in the generators, you will see that you have two different like categories: noises and patterns. So noises basically would describe as something that is a little bit more organic and more random in nature. And so a bunch of noises or of black and white spots, just things, and it's just really give you texture as and more almost organic feels that really great for like treating mask and other things. And the second one over here is basically the pattern. Now the patterns are something which is kind of a more man-made stuff here. And if you want to create different sort of pattern, like big pattern, tile patterns, you can do with the different kind of patterns over here on different meshes. And this is really cool when you try create brick walls or tiles of the floors, like just like this can be a good floor tiles. And it also give you like a kind of organic, like with the combination of organic noises, you can have some good results with it. Next here, we have the filters category. Now, filter categories is just like same effects as something that you would find in the Photoshop, like adjustments here, blending, blurs, channels, and these kind of things here. So inside of adjustments, we have pretty standard like sort of adjustments here. We have levels, auto levels, like histogram scans, and these can actually just brought and connected to any one of these nodes. Let's so for say for this one, just like that. And you can create an output node and whatever you like, you want to create it like later on. So let's say, for example, we have this one. We can take this here and put in the base color. And let's see, with the help of this, we can position this up, contrast, and you can see how we are getting the result out of it. So each one of these from the filters, from adjustments, you have like bunch of like parameters here, like instance parameters or specific parameters or these kind of things. So there are a bunch of nodes inside the filters, and which can use different setting to mess up with your grayscale nodes and color nodes as well. Now, next we have the blending category of filters. So the blending category holds the blend nodes that you wouldn't typically find inside the blend node by default. So like, for example, if I go in the blend node here, I have only these, but I don't have the one that I have it here. So these are a little bit different here. So you'll notice that inside these we have different blend nodes to choose from, and these one are the one that you cannot find it over here, but they are here, like the color burn, the color dodge, and these kind of things. So they can give you your nodes really cool effects when creating color maps and like different color like textures. And next we have here blurs. Now blurs again are just something that you can find in Photoshop. There's different kind of blurs, so you can mess each one its own kind of effect, and it applies its own kind of like blurring effect. Then here we have the channels. So channel nodes we talked about a little bit in the 2D view. Uh, where we were trying to isolate the different channels, but this is a good way if you wanted to split. So there is like RGB split also here. So instead of merging RGB A, you can split the RGB A also. So you can split up a good color map into different channels, or if you want to pack multiple grayscale channels into one single RGB. So these are the nodes that will help you with that. Now, next you have the effects here. So effects can warp your image and distort your image with certain effects. So we can swill like some of the effects. We can apply the like kind of the bevel. We can have a flood fill to color. We have glow effect. We have like so many different things. For example, if I would go here and apply the swirl effect to it, okay, to our cloud here, and then we have here the category, and you can see that how it is working with. You can use OpenGL here to see different sort of effect here. So one thing over here is missing is the vector map, but as I don't have a color, because you can see that this is yellow, that means it needs a color input. So, and this is black and white. So what I can do is that I can take this out and use gradient map. So, and then I will plug it in. And now I have both out input and vector map. And here I will have a good sort of result. You can see how it is giving me a swirling of like a warping of like vector warp effect here. It's not swirl, it's vector warp. So OpenGL is something like this. DirectX is something like this. So you can choose whatever you want. So it's up to you. Now we have next is the normal map. So normal maps are all about normal like maps here, which we can combine different normal maps. We can normalize like different intensity of it. We can change a height to a normal and so on. So you can change anything like height to a normal or normal to a height. So whatever you want to do that, you have it here. Next, we have the tiling. So like this is really great if you if say you have some a broken sort of like tiling effect. Like for example, I have this uh, uh like a fluid effect here. So let's press F7 here, sorry, spacebar here, so that we can get the tiling. So you can see it is perfectly tiled, but what if I take this one and scale it, okay, a little bit down, or let's do one thing instead of here, because use a transform 2D here, and we can scale it up. So when we will scale it up, something like this, just notice you have a very pretty hard, let's press this one and move it here now. So now you can see you have a pretty hard like seam line over here. It's not merging together. Okay. So what we can do is that we have here different sort of effect. We have make it tile photo. Okay. So what we can do is that I can take this one and let's move it here. And plug it in. So you can see that here, if I will go, this is before and this is after. And also I can just change this value just to make things look organized, like, you know. And now you can see how perfectly they are tiled up. So you can fix that like tiling seam error when you get with the tiling effect. So many great things you can do with it. So it's like it's super useful when you accidentally broke your tiling of your texture and you want to get it back. So this is how you can do that. Now, other thing we have here is the transform, like transform. So on the topic of the transform, the transform category holds all the different transforms, and you can use any one of this, and like we can do skews, we can do mirrors. We have mirrors, we have noises here, we have symmetry here, we have a trapezoid, and then we have quad transform also. Like suppose if I take the quad transform and drag it here inside, like sorry, plug it in inside the quad transform, and then if you move it around, you can see that how we are getting this. Now again, don't worry about the nodes, because our next chapter is all about nodes, how to create nodes, what nodes do, and how to work with the nodes. So this chapter is all about the introduction, so you don't have to be really worried about the nodes and the blending right now, because nodes and blending we have in our next chapters. So after the filters, we have here mesh filters. So mesh filters are essentially the same thing that you will find in the filters, but instead of single nodes filters, these correspond to a full-on materials. We talk about how we can bring in full-on like full materials from the Explorer. So we had a whole node graph here, and that we can work with it. Let's say, for example, if we have here PBR render, or maybe something else. Let's check something else here. Yeah, material color. So you can see we have all these nodes information here. So we can take from the Explorer the whole node graph, and we can kind of brought that whole node graph into another material in a single node. We can actually plug them into these different filters here that we have. And you can like, kind of go over these and check what each one of them does. It's a very like you can say useful one, and also interesting. So I'm not going into each nodes, because we will have another chapter after this introduction chapter, because our next chapter will start just after this lesson. That's all about the nodes. So we'll study all the nodes in our next chapter. So that's why don't worry about it right now. Now, next we have here is the mesh adaptive. Now, mesh adaptive is essentially what you would find inside the Substance Painter. They are kind of like smart mask, and they do different weathering effects, like based on the basics that you have connected. So they're really dependent on your normal map bakes, your cavity bakes, your world space normal. So it's all these kind of different edge wears and dripping rust effects. So same thing that we used to do in the Substance Painter, we can now do inside the Substance, like a designer. We will have the same ability inside the Substance Designer as well. Now, next I'll go to functions here. So functions, if you will notice here, it's same thing we talked about, appear to be from the functions. So these are a way to like create single atomic nodes, and they're super math heavy. So you want to play with those if you are interested in doing that, if you are a mathematician and you know stuff about that. So you can use these functions as well. Now after that, we have the 3D view. So 3D view, we talked about this a little bit in the last video. These hold all the HDRI files. If I go here, we have HDR environment, HDRI tool. So we have HDR environment over here. So these are all the HDRI. You can drag this into the view here. Like suppose right now something else, drag this one and the light will be changed. Just notice what is happening here. So you can use any one of these and you will have different sort of result here. Now next we have the PBR materials here. So PBR basically you can see you have good categories here for pavement. You have here metal, paper, okay, tiles, wood, some of them are missing. I don't know, maybe they are not there. Fabric. So people and material are just a set of materials that are included with Substance Designer, and these are also really good resources to learn. So like how certain materials are made. So if we want to bring any one of these, like suppose this fabric 5 here, and we want to see how this has been made. So what we can do is that we can just right click here, and then we can click on the open reference. It will ask you, do you want to open the graph, like load the package? So you can press open, you can see the package is open, and then you can see how this was made, and you can see all of these, how it was done. So this is a quite good way of learning things, like how you can do different kind of nodes. And if you want to make your own and you want to do some changes, and if you want to see how things are been have been done, so you can use these like basically to learn. So this is really useful if you try to learn how to make certain materials and how they did it. I would highly suggest checking out like few of these and see how they are made, so you can actually see how they are done. So, for example, this one, if we bring it here, it's like, oh, it's just see how amazing this is. Actually, let's okay. So just right click, open reference, and see how this is done. So not only we can actually open the resources for these, we can go back to like for example generator noises, and we can take up any noise here. For example, we can take the dirt, we can right click over here, and after that we can open the reference here, and we can go inside here as well, and we can and you can see that how these are made using the effects map. So if you right click here and edit effects map, so you can see how these effect maps were used here, what kind of values they were it was created with. Let's close this, and let's close these as well. Now some of the things that we could do with the library, we can actually as I talked about before, we can dock this window wherever we want, and we can dock it to the Explorer, actually inside the Explorer. And you can see I'm talking right now inside the Explorer. So what it will do is that it will create another tab over here. So this will give us more room to see what we have here. So we have Explorer, we have library, and we have more view like room, and we can keep on looking at, like we can see more of the things now. So this is a like nice way of doing this. It's I always like to do this here. So this is really useful if we want to give a little bit more resource space to being able to see all these different nodes that we have in the library. So this is how you can dock it, and you can have the whole thing. Now another thing we can do is, let's just extend it a little bit, this view, so we can see these options here. So we actually have this toggle, and that can show the names of the icons on or off. So this is also because if you will turn it off, so you will have more icons showing here, just like this, so you know what's going on here. So because sometimes what happened, the names you might you might not maybe you are not into the names, and you don't care about the name, so you can turn it off if you want. Apart from that, we can change the size of the these nodes here in the library panel. I can make it large, I can make it medium, I can make it small, tiny, and you can see that how it will look like if I'm doing with this. And then we have here filters, filter by type. So I can go here and filter by type functions, filter by type composition, filter by type MDL. So anything I can do that, or uncheck all of these. Next is, suppose I want to see the whole thing here. Okay, like suppose I want to see anything related to brick, so I can just go in the search option and type here whatever I want, like suppose brick, and everything related to brick will be applied, like will be shown. And if I want plastic, so anything about the plastic will be shown up here. So if I can drag it there, and then you can use that, like this is basically function, so I'm gonna drag it here. So let's move out of it. Now, the last thing I want to talk to you guys is about in the library panel is how to create your own filter. So we can do that by going up here to the very top, and we can add a folder. First of all, we can rename our folder, and we can rename it to maybe custom or my stuff. So just like that. And then after that, I can just right click here, add a filter, or just I can click it here, add a filter. This is also filter. So I can do that by pressing here or right click, add a filter. Now here we have some different options here. We have all, and if I go through, it will show me, it will filter out my result from any one of these options. But I don't want specific one, I want all of them, so that if I'm searching anything, it goes in all of them and search from all of these like categories or nodes directory. So I will keep it all. Base name or URL category, I just want the base name to be appeared here. Contains, like how it should be, like how I'm searching. So contains is the easiest one, so I will choose the contains of that. I will write I will write the name, and then it will appear here. Now it can be a user project or anything. You can have this one as well. And once you are done, you can type here what you're looking for. So for example, I'm looking for brick. And if I will type the brick and press enter, so anything related to brick will be shown here. Okay, or maybe I'm looking for fabric, and everything related to fabric will appear here. Okay, after that I can close this. I can go here, maybe I can rename it to, instead of filter, I can type here fabric. So anytime I can go here, it will show me everything related to fabric. So I can make you can make your own like filter just like that, in a very quick and easy way. So, and that pretty much covers everything inside the Substance Painter's library. And we have completed our first chapter. We are done with the introduction to Substance Designer. So our next chapter, chapter 2, will be all about the nodes. Basically, it's all about the most commonly heavily used nodes, the nodes that you should know when you are making your own substance. So we will learn how nodes are created, what is the concept behind the nodes, how the height maps works, how the normal maps work, how different like sort of color maps work. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this tutorial. And if you have any questions or any queries you have, you can write in the description, in the in the comment section below. So drop me a line, and we'll see you in the next chapter. So I hope you have liked this lesson, and I'm sure you will be waiting for the next chapter about the nodes, so you can learn how to create nodes, and you can start with your like project, create like different sort of things. So the our next chapter, about the nodes, that will be also divided into different lessons, because I want to make it more organized, in a more organized way, in a more sequential in logical, like logically sequential way, so you can easily learn about the Substance Designer, and you can in the end you you will hopefully know much more about the Substance Designer. You will be able to make a lot of great things. So I would like to thank you all for all your support, and I hope you will continue to support me. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed to it yet, and I will be posting a lot of new content, so don't forget to hit the bell icon so you can receive the notifications about them. If you have liked my video, so please hit the like button and leave your questions in the comment section below, like I said, and I will surely answer them. In the end, I would like to mention that please watch all my videos online, because if you are downloading it, my hard work won't pay off like this. So please, to support me, always watch my videos online. So thanks once again, everyone, and soon we will meet in the next chapter, and we'll start new lessons from the next chapter. So take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and keep learning.
There is one important announcement I would like to make. I have started 3 great membership plans on my channel. I have introduced ZDive Friends membership plan, which will give you exciting perks like loyalty badges and priority on comments. I have also introduced ZDive Early Bird plan, which will give access to Z Interactive tutorials way early before they become public. So you will get all these lessons at once and you can binge watch. Last but not the least, I have introduced ZDive Premium plan, which will give access to advanced professional tutorials, which you will find at very expensive outside, and I will be giving this at a very low amount of price. So visit my channel now and click on the join membership to get more information. I hope you become one of my members. If you want to learn how to create a highly detailed prop procedurally using Substance Designer, so this premium tutorial series is for you. Join my premium membership plan on YouTube and get access to all premium tutorials. In this tutorial series, I will demonstrate how to use Substance Designer along with simple geometry to create a realistic, smashed up retro television.